A carpenter named Jacob lived in the outskirts of a calm village. Jacob was known for his exceptional craftsmanship. His wooden creations have adorned many homes in the village. Despite his skill, Jacob harbored a dark secret that weighed heavily on his heart. Years ago, in a fit of jealousy and rage, he had falsely accused his best friend, John, of stealing his most prized creation, a beautifully carved table. John, unable to prove his innocence, left the village in disgrace. Jacob dealt with guilt for many years. He tried to bury it under layers of sawdust and the sounds of his hammer, but it always resurfaced. Many years later, Jacob received Jesus to his heart and became a Christian. Then he decided to make restitution with John, his friend. Jacob tried to locate John, but could not find him for a long time. Few years later, the Holy Spirit led Jacob to relocate to a new village with his family. One day, as Jacob was working on a project, a young man named Thomas visited Jacob's new workshop in the village he now lives. "Good day. How can I be of help to you?" Jacob asked. "Good day and well done. I need a beautifully crafted table," Thomas replied. "I want to gift a friend." Jacob agreed to the task, and as he worked, Thomas admired Jacob's skill, so he often visited, watching Jacob's skilled hands transform the raw wood into a beautiful table. And of course, Thomas sometimes wore an apron to prevent his clothes from the dust. During these visits, they spoke about life, dreams, regrets, and enjoyed each other's company. One evening, as they sat in the workshop, Thomas shared a story. There was a man in a village, much like yourself, who was wrongly accused of a crime he didn't commit. Jacob's heart started beating faster. "What happened to him?" he asked, though he dreaded the answer. Thomas looked at Jacob, his eyes filled with joy. He left the village, never to return. But before he left, he forgave the man who accused him. He believed that holding on to anger and resentment only caused more pain. Jacob's hands trembled as he heard me. "Thomas, who was this man?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Thomas sighed deeply. "That man is my father. His name is John." Jacob's heart pounded in his chest. "Thomas, I was the one who wronged your father. I falsely accused him, and he paid the price for my jealousy. I've lived with this guilt every day." Thomas looked at Jacob, a mix of emotions playing across his face. "My father always said that forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves. He forgave you long ago, Jacob." Jacob requested to see John, Thomas's father. When Jacob finally met John, tears streamed down his face as he fell to his knees. "I am so sorry, John. I can never undo the harm I've caused." John placed a hand on Jacob's shoulder, lifting him up gently. "God forgives, and so do we, Jacob. I have already forgiven you. God would want you to forgive yourself." At that moment, Jacob felt a profound sense of relief wash over him. The weight he had carried for so long was lifted, and he understood the true meaning of forgiveness. It was not just about seeking it from others, but accepting it within oneself. From that day on, Jacob worked with a renewed spirit, his creations reflecting the peace he had found. Jacob extended forgiveness to everyone, living the lesson he had learned. God forgives, and so should we.